Hello, you're back with Beatle. We are back on Survivor IO. Today we're going to be doing part 2 of our weapon comparison of the Light Chaser and the Kunai. Just before we jump in, just to mention that around 90% of the people that watch these videos aren't actually subscribed. So if you are able to do that, you appreciate the content, then please do click the subscribe button and we'll jump straight into it. So first up, I will be using the Light Chaser. There it is, level 34, and this time instead of the Ender's Echo, we're going to be doing the Chapter 10 Country Road for both of the weapons, and we'll jump straight into it now. First up weapon we get is the drone. So the rules that I have here is every time I see the actual weapon in one of the upgrade slots, so that I've just upgraded the Light Chaser there, I will always click that weapon, and I'll try and get all the other weapons and upgrades as similar as I can in both runs. Obviously I've just sped it up a bit here just so the video isn't too long, and I'll sort of do a bit of a time lapse across some of the stages as well. But there we go, upgraded the Light Chaser to level 3 there, so we are getting quite a lucky start with the Light Chaser. And all the other upgrades I do generally are the ones with the tech part, so there we get the drill as well. So in the previous video we had the Kunai coming out on top. That was in the Ender's Echo. That was purely just obviously against the bosses. Here in the chapter I came in with the theory that the Light Chaser would be do a better job, given that there's lots more enemies. The Light Chaser has a bigger area of effect, and obviously once you get that Evo upgrade of it, it just looks like it's going to be doing a lot more damage. But I guess that is exactly what this video is to check here. We will just pick up the HE fuel there, just trying to upgrade some of the weapons that I've already got. Once the Light Chaser isn't an option of the upgrade, then I'll just try and either upgrade one of the tech part weapons, or if I can't find one of those, then I'll try and get one of the other upgrades that allows one of the Evo weapons. Here we just get the zombies incoming. The stages as well, I should say, are relatively easy for me. I am somewhat over leveled just because I've done so many of the sort of daily challenges and quests, and even some of the trial modes, and because I've been on it pretty much most days, I've been able to get the chests and things like that. So all my gear is pretty good, and still going strong. I've swapped a few of the tech parts around. So here you see I've got that sort of force field round that has the tech part, so that reduces the range but also doubles the damage, which I thought was pretty good. I watched a few other videos of that ranked some of the tech parts, and I thought I would just mix it up there. So we'll see how they do. I think I'm just still trying to find what my sweet spot is there, but I do quite like using the force field. I think it doesn't quite kill as many, but I sort of feel a bit safer when I have that. And here's the first boss. Dies pretty quickly. I just sort of direct all the Light Chaser shots at its face, and it goes down really quickly. We get 3 upgrades there in the chest that it leaves behind, and now we get the last weapon, which we go for the Guardian. Generally speaking, I just try and level up most things relatively evenly, and there we finally pick up the Eternal Light, which is the Evo upgrade of the Light Chaser. So now we actually have that, and as you can see now, my tactic pretty much is because obviously nothing can touch me. The Light Chaser, I feel, is a bit of a sort of a medium range weapon, so if I stand still, I think all my other weapons will do the damage. So I constantly try and move downwards. I can't constantly sprint downwards, as I would run into the enemies and take a bit of damage. So I'm just sort of slowly moving my way down, trying to collect the gold gems, which is sort of the most efficient way for me to level up. And as you can see, sort of, I know I'm sort of fast forwarding it a bit here, but you can see still going down, collecting the gems, leveling up relatively quickly. But now that I actually have the Evo weapon of the Light Chaser, every upgrade that I get pretty much, I'm trying to click the one that would help the Light Chaser the most, whether that is the reload speed or the HE fuel for the range. Still going strong. So there we just kill the second of 3 bosses. Leaves us a chest, don't get much from it, just an upgrade of the Defender. Pretty much all of our weapons are very close now to being Evo upgraded. I didn't get the chance to get the second drone, so I won't have the Destroyer, unfortunately, but as long as we get sort of similar or same weapons in the Kunai run, then it doesn't really matter, I suppose, what weapons I choose, as long as they are the same, just to try and keep it fair. So here we were in the sort of last 5 minutes. We're able to just pretty much run fairly continuously down. The defender certainly helps with that as well, and now we get our Evo upgrade allowing of the force field. So now the next 2 upgrades I'll be able to get the fuel barrel as well as the force barrier upgrade, and I think I actually get both of them here. There we go. So there's 2 additional Evo upgrades. We just speed this up, continue running up our little process that we've got going on here. So I feel like if I constantly run up, the light chaser doesn't have the chance to do its full set of damage. So I sort of sprint up, let the light chaser shoot, and then hang back just very slightly, just so all the sort of projectiles have a chance to move forward and kill the enemies. As you can see there, just sort of slowing it down to show you exactly what I mean there. But that feels to me like the most efficient way. As you can see, there's just so many enemies on the screen here. I think here they sort of have slightly less HP, so I'm able to move maybe slightly quicker. But the kill count is absolutely just shooting up here, and obviously as well as the levels with the amount of enemies I'm killing, even at this level, I'm able to level up quite quickly. But pretty much I'm fully upgraded. None of the upgrades here are really going to actually make any difference, and here I realise I am able to just sort of fully sprint forward. Unsure if this is the most efficient way, but obviously there's more enemies on the screen, more enemies dying, so I presume that this is going to be the most efficient way, at least to get the most kills. I presume it will also help the light chaser get the most kills as well. So that is what we're doing. And as you can see, the light chaser pretty much just comes into its own when there's enemies like this. This is exactly what the light chaser is. So I think it would actually probably be even more overpowered if the level wasn't sort of up or down, if it was sort of a full 360 level as well. I think that it would probably help it there. But there we go, final boss is here. We'll just slow it down. There's actually so much on the screen. I remember thinking I actually couldn't even see what the boss was, where I was shooting, but we get a magnet just before the boss, hence about the sort of 10 different upgrades, because I was sprinting through and sprinting past all the gems. But we get to the end of it. Couldn't really make out who I was fighting at, but then I saw the mobile phones and thought that is the hallmark of the Donald Trump in a suit throwing his mobile phone at me boss. And so we do manage to take him down there, and there we have it. First run complete, chapter 10 complete, 36,000 kills, with the Eternal Light being number 1 at 38%. So now we will compare that with the Kunai. So we will just have a look here. I've reset everything, got the Kunai to excellent level 1, level 34 again, and we will jump straight back into chapter 10, Country Road, already cleared just previously there. Thankfully, we actually start off with exactly the same upgrade. Would have loved to get the other drone there, but I thought for fairness we'll get the fuel barrel, which is I said the fuel barrel, the Molotov, just because that is what we had in the previous run. Same with the force barrier that we've got here, or force field. That is again another one that we had. I'll just upgrade the drone there, as nothing else there I thought would be that helpful, and we'll just continue the run. I would say initially here I could tell that it wasn't quite as powerful as the light chaser, I think, starting out. We get the drill here, which is what we had in the previous run as well. I can just sort of tell I don't quite fire as often, perhaps. I'm not actually too sure what it was. We'll upgrade the Kunai there to level 3. But when there's some enemies on the screen, it doesn't quite kill them as quickly as the light chaser. I think the light chaser has that sort of pierce effect where the bullets can go through every enemy, whereas the Kunai is a little more target specific, possibly. And here we get the next upgrade. Now, unfortunately, I couldn't find an upgrade here of a weapon that we already had, so I go for the lightning, and I think I end up getting that instead of the Guardian, the sort of discs that spin around you. So that is just the only discrepancy between the two runs, is the lightning instead of the defender. But as you can see by the end of it, they both actually play quite a minor role in the kills, so hopefully that shouldn't matter. but already just sort of a few minutes into the game, I can sort of tell I'm not quite doing as much damage as I was with the Light Chaser run. Just feels a little slower. I think also I haven't managed to upgrade the Kunai quite as much as I had the Light Chaser at this point, because I think around the 5-minute mark it was the Light Chaser got the Evo upgrade. I think we're only on level 3 with the Kunai now, and some of the other weapons are probably slightly more upgraded as they've taken some of the upgrades away from what the Light Chaser had at this stage. But we will continue the run nevertheless, just to sort of get that comparison at the end anyway. I have also actually unlocked an excellent revolver. So depending on the results of this, you know, if it's close and another weapon may be able to beat the Light Chaser, then I might actually do a similar run with the revolver and perhaps compare that against either the Kunai or the Light Chaser, and just see how the revolver actually does when it's exactly the same rarity as the other weapons. Obviously they're not S-based as well, but you know, these bosses is exactly where the Kunai does the damage, and just sort of stay in that mid-range distance way and letting the Kunai do its thing, whereas the Light Chaser, you sort of feel like you have to be maybe slightly closer, and you have to aim as well. So if any projectiles come at you, you have to turn away, whereas the Kunai would be able to constantly keep shooting the bosses, which is obviously what we saw in the Ender's Echo. But I feel it probably is worth highlighting here that we had the Light Chaser at the Evo level at this stage, whereas the Kunai I think is still only level 3, possibly level 4, not too sure. But it's certainly not at the Evo stage which the Light Chaser was. But you know, that is the look of the draw, and I think in the previous run the Kunai got a bit more luckier, I suppose, than the Light Chaser in terms of when that was upgraded. So I suppose this is just getting even for that. There we pick up the Evo upgrade for the Force Barrier, which is the first time I've actually had that with the tech part upgrade. So it does double the damage of what it does without the tech part, but the range is slightly reduced, which I think is more than ample compensation. So I would take that any day of the week. And here we just sort of still similar, I suppose, similar technique to the Light Chaser in terms of slowly moving our way down the map, trying to collect the gems. It doesn't matter quite as much which way I face with the Light Chaser. Obviously, you still have to be pointing down, so your shots mainly are still focusing on the enemies, whereas with the Kunai I can move a bit more sort of on purpose left and right to try and pick up as many more gems, possibly a bit quicker. And there we just got the magnet just before the boss, so we've got the Evo upgrade of the fuel barrel now. Now we're just getting some of the other sort of upgrades that might help the katana out. Still worth noting, we don't have the Evo upgrade for the katana yet, so that is sort of over 5 minutes already difference between when the Light Chaser was Evo upgraded to the katana, still I think being level 4, maybe level 5, but I actually think it is still level 4, so that is something worth sort of remembering. And here we'll just move up the sort of dirt path, going with the very similar technique of just trying to let the Kunai do as much damage to the enemies as possible, trying to kill as many enemies as possible, because both are going to be sort of compared against in this video, because we do have the sort of total kill count as well. I think at this stage the Light Chaser was ahead, but that is bearing in mind that it did have the Evo upgrade quicker. There we get the Whistling Arrow, one of my favourite weapons in the game. It certainly kills a lot of enemies and whizzes around the screen, and you'll probably see it a bit later on when the sort of big groups of enemies come on the screen, just how much it actually can take them out. We just sort of continue trying to move our way up there, collecting the gold gems, as that's by far the most efficient way to level up. I mean, just watch the screen here when you collect the blue ones and how slow it is to move, and then as soon as you take the gold ones, it just sort of jumps up a little bit. And there we finally get the the XP upgrade, which allows for the katana upgrade. 12 minutes in, bearing in mind that, so it is very, very late. It's actually around pretty much exactly 7 minutes later than when the Light Chaser was upgraded, and considering the sort of stage is only 15 minutes total, that will have somewhat of a significant impact. And here I tried the tactic of can I just sort of sprint forward, and at first it seems to work pretty well, and I'm pretty sure that would probably be the most economical way to get both the most kills total and the most kills with the katana. But there you can see I actually nearly died, so I decided that may not be the best option when there's that many enemies. So I just go back to the tactic of slowly working my way up as quickly as I can, but without taking the damage. And I collect a magnet there, and through all the running that I had done with the enemies killed, I get quite a few level ups there. So I go back to try and moving my way up after getting a few levels there. But I suppose it's actually just quite interesting how I can't completely sort of continue sprinting up like I could with the light chaser, especially at this point in the game. I wasn't taking damage with the light chaser when I was, just holding the sprint button upwards, but with the kunai I do take damage, so I'm not able to sprint up, which means I'm probably not efficiently killing as many enemies as possible. But there we have it. We're on to the final boss now with the kunai. It's going to be the same boss, the same Donald Trump throwing his mobile phone at me. Interestingly, I don't actually know if he actually dies much quicker with the kunai here, and that is generally what the kunai is best at. But either way, we will take the win there, and here we go for the comparisons. So nearly 22,000 kills total, but the Spirit Shuriken only doing 17%. So now let's look at the final comparison of the two. So here we see the Light Chaser. Total kills 36,337, with the kunai being 21,974. Percentage of that damage of the Light Chaser is 38% compared to 17% of the kunai, which does mean that the total kills of the Light Chaser is 13,808, with the kunai being only 3,734. So it is an absolute one-sided affair. I suppose as the Ender's Echo was with the kunai, this is an absolute landslide for the Light Chaser. So perhaps that does mean for general chapters it is worthwhile keeping the Light Chaser, and then any time you're in the Ender's Echo, possibly the kunai, or I may do another damage comparison with that. But I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you do appreciate the content, do give me a like or a subscribe. That is very much appreciated, and I will catch you all in the next one. Thank you very much.